Hello, good morning students. Students, in the last class we have finished geography, natural vegetation and wildlife, and today I am going to start history. Today we will discuss about history, and in history chapter 6 towns, traders and craftsperson. Till chapter 5 we have finished of history, and from today we are going to discuss about history chapter and chapter 6 town, traders and craftsmen. In this chapter we are going to discuss about town, trades and craft person, and important places such as Hampi, Surat, Machilipatnam. So about all the topic we will discuss in this chapter. You know, towns and cities have always served as a center of culture and civilization. Means also they symbolize, means cities and towns are symbolized to the civilization, to the culture, and these urban centers play an important role in the growth of economy and in the gradual development of society and culture. During the medieval period, towns and urban centers sprang up around temples, port, administrative centers, or port and trading centers. Administrative centers. Administrative centers. In these administrative centers, we have to discuss four towns. Four towns. Administrative centers, we have to discuss about four towns, and you know, in the medieval period, a number of Indian cities emerged. In the medieval period, a number of Indian cities emerged, and they were Delhi, Ajmer, Kannauj, under the Rajput, Kanchi, Badami, Ellora under the Pallav, and Lahore, Agra, Fatehpur Sikri under the Mughals. These type towns emerged, and during Akbar's reign, his court, treasury and stable were moved from Fatehpur Sikri to Agra to suit the changing circumstances, and Akbar's also court historian gives a vivid picture of Agra during Akbar's time. He says Agra is a large city and possesses a healthy climate. His Majesty has built a fort, red stone, and like a which traveler have never recorded. Now temple towns. Temple towns and pilgrimage center. Firstly, we will discuss temple towns. You know, one of the best example of the temple town is Tanjavur. Tanjore or Tanjavur. One of the best example of the temple town is Tanjavur, and the capital of the Chol kingdom. The temple towns portray a very important pattern of urbanization, and a temple also played an important role in the economy of the state. They were built by king through donation and grant, and they also symbolize a powerful of the kingdom. So many pilgrimage centers celebrate the festival. A large number of towns emerged around temples. Around the temples, different type towns, a large number of towns emerged, and these were Bhilwara temple, Bhilwara Swami in Madhya Pradesh, and Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh, Somnath temple in Gujarat, and Kanchipuram temple in Tamil Nadu. So different type temple emerged. with this we have to discuss about more point. You can see the picture has been given in a book, and the Tirupati temple and different type pilgrimage center also, and many pilgrimage center also developed into township. Two examples such a town were Vrindavan in Uttar Pradesh and Tiruvannamalai and Tamil Nadu. Now about pilgrimage center. Pilgrimage centers. Pilgrimage center, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri and Rishikesh were the four important religious places for the Hindus, and these four places together are called the Char Dham. The Hindus believe that traveling to these places and leads to the moksha and release from the cycle of rebirth. And the Dargah Sheikh Salim Chishti at Agra and Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia Delhi attract both Hindu and Muslim alike. And the Muslim holy places in Makkah, every Muslim are obliged to visit Makkah once in a lifetime. Now next topic is ports and trading towns. Ports and trading towns. Ports and trading towns. With the development of the various seaport trade and commerce flourished. With the development of the various seaport trade and commerce flourished, and they became the meeting point of the foreigners and Indians. And Surat was the most important port during the Mughal period. They interact to each other. Means they changing the ideas to each other, and whatever becoming here and whatever producing in that place, that country, other country, and from starting a seaport, they attract to each other, they changing the ideas to each other. And Bombay, Sopara, Broj, Dwarka, Kochi and Goa were important seaports because of their trade relation with the Africa, Southwest Asia and the European countries. Towns like Visakhapatnam, Tamralipti were important because it was through the country that India maintained a commercial relation with southeastern country. The visit of the foreign travelers give us a detailed account of the variety of goods sold in the market in those days. When the traveler had come here, they give the ideas of the different important things, nasty things of the life, and India was famous for its textile, and it formed one of the chief item of export. In the south, Malabar, Golconda and Calicut, important textile center. Golconda was famous for its kalamkari, or different type style of kalamkari, and it is used in the textile, kalamkari textile, and these were exported through the port city of Machilipatnam, Surat, Hampi. These were the important places earlier time and today also. Now about next topic, we have to discuss more topic. such as we have to discuss about Barbosa. Perhaps you have listened the name of the Barbosa. You know, student, Duarte Barbosa, a Portuguese official in Cochin, described Gujarat to leading a cotton trade, and we all the people know in Gujarat producing more and more cotton, and textile from Gujarat were exported to the Arab country, and even in South Asia, patola, a kind of silk, even producing in our country in a different type natural dye a color, different color dye was in a great demand in Southeast Asia. You have listened the name indigo. Indigo, a dye. Indigo or dye, and it was likely by the Southwest Asia and Asian country. It was popular among the wealthy classes in Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and it used dyeing turbans was manufactured in Bengal. It was popular in Europe, and other items for export were carpets, cut stone, ivory, and tortoise shell, diamond, and pearl were exported from the Deccan, and with this Indian spices also were liked by the Mughals as well as by the Europeans. India was imported goods from countries outside India. Horses also were imported from Kabul. Kabul horses were very strong and good quality. So horses were imported from Kabul and Arabia, and dry fruit, glassware from Europe, and satin from West Asia. And proclaimed raw silk from China were also in demand in Indian market. Trade with China started. Silk route started from India to China. Between the trading with India and China and Southeast Asia was carried through the port of Sonargaon. In the 15th and 16th century, Vijayanagar had trade with diverse countries such as Persia, Arabia, Burma, and China. Ibn Battuta also described Delhi as a major trade center. Superior quality rice and sugar were found in Kannauj, wheat in Punjab, and Betar lives in Dhar. Kasim Bazar in Bengal. Kasim Bazar in Bengal was a good quality of the producing of the exported quality cotton, silk, and Thatta in Sindh was the largest trading center of India, and it is increasing the foreign trading company and develop a market. So many companies came here and developing a market in India, and production of the handicraft increased in order to keep up with the demand in foreign countries. Now a network of small towns. A network of small town. Many small towns emerged in the subcontinent from the 18th century onwards, and this town had a mandi where people from nearby village came to sell their product. They also had a shop lying on the street, and these shops were called hut. Were called hut. In the local language, you can say mandi. And many traders came from the far and near to these towns to buy and sell their product. And while some traders lived in the towns, others traveled from town to town. Many came from far and near to these towns to buy local articles and sell products of distant places like horses, salt, camphor, and different type things. Now traders, big and small. Big and small traders. Big and small traders. Traders big and small. There are many kinds of traders. There are many kinds of traders. They were big and small, and especially horse traders form association with headmen who negotiate on their behalf with the warriors. And these traders travel in caravan and form guide to protect their interest. These guilds traded within the peninsula with Southeast Asia and China. They are also communicate like the Chetaj and the Marwari Oswal, different type traders went to become a main trading group of the country. Gujarat traders and Muslim Bohra traded exclusively with the port of Red Sea, Persian Gulf, Southeast Asia and China. They sold textile and spices and in exchange brought gold and ivory from Africa, silver and Chinese blue pottery from Southeast Asia and China. The towns on the west coast were home to Arab, Persian, Chinese and Jewish traders. Indian spices were very important, and in the other country exported Indian spices and importing horses. These commodities exchange to each other through the traders. And these commodities reach the European market and very high profit. Spices grown in the tropical climate, pepper, cinnamon, and nutmeg, dried ginger, etc. became an important part of European cooking, and cotton cloth was very attractive to the eventually due European traders to India. Okay. Now students, rest of the topic we will discuss in the next class. Note down your homework. Y famous Ajmer. Y famous Ajmer means what was important in the Ajmer and why it was famous. Who lived in the black towns. Who lived in the black towns. Note down your homework. Have you noted homework? Okay, then good. And student, rest of the topic we will discuss in the next class. And the chapter is some words are very tough. You have to study seriously, then you can get all the point. Okay, thank you, have a good day.